I'm dying to see what happens. No pun intended. I'm dying to see what happens next season. But no, I mean, I've said it before and I will continue saying it. I really feel like I won the lottery with this character. She's one of the most interesting characters I think on television, let alone interesting female characters with her complexity. I think she's bottomless, and we've really only begun to scratch the surface of Emma Hill, of her darkness, of her light, of her vulnerability, of what she's capable of, and so is she, because she's been a child in a lot of ways up until this point. She's always been under Joe's wing or under the protection of the cult. And now that that's disbanded and he's, seemingly dead, she's on her own for the first time. And I'm really, really excited to see what happens with Emma when she's on her own. I know nothing ever until the very last moment. I am not even joking. I wish I knew things in advance. It's kind of a blessing that I have a character who is very much of the moment. Despite her dark past, she doesn't live in the past. It's not even so much about planning for the future. Everything is about in the moment, and it's very singular in focus. It's always about love for Joe, which helps me when things are thrown at me last minute.
How much are you able to input your own idea in the character?
Well, because I get things last minute, it's not so much a collaborative process in terms of creating the character, but I think anytime an actor is working on a character, the writers, and Kevin Williamson does absolutely sort of, I think, respond to what each of us brings to the character and what works and what doesn't, and expanding on that. So it's not so much a discussion as just an action. Things will progress. It's really not hard for me. I've definitely, had people concerned that I'm going to be going to a dark place in my life, but no, I think because I don't judge Emma and I know where her actions come from, and they come from a positive place, that it's very easy for me to play a scene and let it go. That said, the only time, I think it's ironic and kind of telling, the only time I was really affected outside or offset was there was a very short scene in episode 10 when Jacob hallucinates Emma dead in the bathtub, and she's eviscerated and everything in the pool of blood, and I had spent hours in prosthetics. I had my guts ripped open and intestines, and I was laying there, and that night was the first time I had nightmares of being in a crowd and somebody was going through with a knife, and I thought that was really interesting after a whole season of being on the opposite end of the violence. Once I was on the receiving end, that sort of triggered me more.
What do you know about season 2 so far? Obviously, you haven't started filming.
No, we haven't started filming. We start filming in August. Well, there's a few things in general. The story's going to be told in a different way. It's still going to be a thriller. It's still going to be a page turner. But I'm really excited because it's going to be a lot more about characters. And a study of that and exploring that, and not less reliant on plot, but there's more room to explore the characters, which Kevin has laid the groundwork for such wonderful characters in such a complex world. I'm really looking forward to that. And then, as we know, we're going to be jumping ahead a year since the last scene at the finale of season 1. So everyone will have changed. There will be a certain usage of the flashback device to see how people survived or didn't survive, and how they progressed and how they changed. So that's kind of where we're coming in for season 2.
Kind of maybe even evolving to being the next sort of big bad, or say the primary Jake
Right.
But kind of she seems to be evolving, and she's a very strong person. So almost seeing her out of everyone has the most potential to become just as
I think she absolutely has the potential to be just as lethal as he is. I mean, and she is the protege of Joe Carroll. And she is strong enough. I think what we will hopefully explore and we'll find is whether or not her motivations even lie there, because she's always used that callousness and and that power in service to Joe, for her love for him and his mission. Whether or not she has any desire to be a kingpin to her own, cult, I don't know, because I don't know yet who Emma is without Joe. That's what I'm looking forward to finding. Like, could she be a big baddie? Of course. She could be anything. Emma's capable of anything. But I'm really excited to see who she is in that vacuum that's created by his loss.